Welcome back. You are tuned in to IBL, inspired by Onika, speaking on life and inspiring people. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is episode 23 of the IBO podcast, and today's episode is titled, What is of Utmost Importance in Life? So, is it happiness? Is it financial stability? Is it companionship? Or is it something else? Is there something that's more important than happiness when it comes to the ultimate goal in life? What do you say? Now, if you ask people, I think a lot of people would say, of course we want to be happy. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, that's common sense. Of course we want to be happy. Well, yeah, we want to be happy. We wish happiness for other people. So, yes, that's definitely a goal in life. But is there something that may be more important than happiness when it comes to life? Like, what is the end goal? So some people might say, again, they may say companionship, for example. So people may say, well, forget being happy. I want to have someone in my life who I can talk to, someone that I can laugh with, someone I can cry with. And note, I said cry with, not cry because of. Okay? Hear what I said. All right? So they may say they'd rather have a companion as they get older. They don't want to, be alone in life. They don't want to leave the earth, alone. So they may say they want companionship. That's more important to them than saying, oh, well, I want to be happy. But of course, if you have a companion, then more than likely you'll be a happy person. But some people, they place other things over just, happiness as being the ultimate goal. Because if you have a companion in your life, that's someone that, they help to enrich your life. This person, you could make memories with this person. Like I said, you can grow old with this person. Just experience life with them. So some people may say, well, I'd rather have companionship. And that's fine. People want what they want. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Especially as, people get into their older years. They may say, oh, forget all that. I want a companion in my life, someone I can travel with or do certain things with, just having someone I know that has my back like I have their back. Or some people, they might say it's financial stability, because there are a lot of people in the world who, they might live paycheck to paycheck, or they're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And they're constantly worried about if anything unexpected happens, they're just stressing about, okay, how am I going to take care of this? It's a big deal. It's a real thing. Okay. Not everyone, just has money at their disposal, and, it's just not a thing. That's just not reality for a lot of us. So financial stability, some people may say, I want to know that I have a cushion, and that if anything happens, that I'm going to be okay. I don't have to stress about it, because we all know that stress creates a lot of problems. It affects our minds, our bodies, and if you are strapped for money, it can be a thing. So some people, they might place that above other things because they don't want to have to worry about, let's say if they get sick and they have to be out of work on a leave, and they have to worry about, well, how am I going to pay my bills? Or if their company shuts down and they're lost their employment, how am I going to pay my bills? So if you have a financial cushion for yourself, and when I say financial stability, I mean, you may want to have a steady job, you have steady employment, you have steady money coming in, or you have some type of investments like maybe a 401k or a Roth IRA, things like that. or you just are able to save some money. Maybe you save 6 months worth of your bills so that you know if anything happened, you would be okay for a little while and you're not stressed about it. So that right there brings people peace in itself because you already know, like, okay, I don't have to worry if, something happens, maybe if something happens to your car. You don't have a vehicle. So how are you supposed to get around and do what you need to do? So these are real things people worry about, and also it's about how expensive everything is and just simple everyday food, household items. How am I going to feed my kids? Or if you don't have any children, how am I going to feed myself? Am I going to have dinner tonight? So those are real things that people go through and, we think about. So some people may say, well, forget happiness. I'd rather have financial stability so I don't have to worry about all those kinds of things, and then also, um, there may be something else. For example, let's say some people, they may say they want to have a family, meaning, they want to have children. So there are some people that they want to be parents. That's their goal. They want to have children. So that may be something that they place higher than, oh, happiness. Of course, we all want happiness again, but in addition to that, they may want these other things: companionship, excuse me, financial stability, and maybe they just want to have a family. That may be their ultimate goal. And, there's just so many other things that people may place over, oh, well, all I want is just to be happy. Of course, whoever wishes to be miserable, who wishes to be unhappy? No one that I know of. But my question is, what is the ultimate goal? Is it happiness? Is it something else? Like what is it? Some people may say, they might want a better career. All they want is just to be, whatever their dream job is, that's what they want in life. That's their ultimate goal, is to be, or to do that, is to have that in their lives. So what do you say? I mean, what is it that you think? I mean, is happiness the ultimate, the end game in life? Or is it happiness plus something else? Some people say, forget that. Happiness is overrated. That's what I hear. Some people say, like, happiness, that's overrated. No, just give me. Some people, they might just want a roof over their head, for example. They're just happy with that. They're happy just to be able to come home and have a roof over their head, and have a peaceful roof over their head. Not just any roof, but just have a peaceful roof over their head. They can come into the door and they can breathe a sigh of relief because it's like, okay, maybe I had a hectic day today, and now I'm coming home and it's peaceful. It's my little haven. It's my oasis. I can just relax. I don't have to deal with any drama. And that's the other thing too, is that some people may say, well, I just want a drama-free life, because you may have, I don't know, either friends or family, and they're just drama magnets. They thrive off of that. And you may be in the middle of that and you're trying to figure out, how do I get myself out of it? So some people, they just might want a drama free life. You know, there's so many different things, and we're all different people with our own individual minds, our own individual wants. So what is it that you think? What is it for you? What is the ultimate goal to you besides happiness? Or is it just something just completely different? Of course, we don't want to wish anything bad on anyone, but just can you answer that? What is the ultimate goal? Is happiness the end game here, or is it something more important, or something just altogether? I mean, it's just so interesting to hear different people's perspectives on this, because you may be in one lane thinking, okay, well, yeah, I'd like to have financial stability in my life. But some people may say, well, money, that's just the root of all evil. Well, it's true. Money is the root of all evil, but I'm not saying you have to be money hungry. I'm not saying that, you make that the only thing that you ever think about and strive for in life is money. Not saying that, just saying that some people just want to be financially stable. Not saying that, you're trying to be a billionaire, just saying you just want to be financially stable. You don't have to stress. You just want to have a little less stress in your life. Some people may say it's health. They'd rather have health. They want to be able to be mobile, get around, do things for themselves, not have to depend on other people to have to wash them up, or other people to have to drive them to an appointment, or do anything for them, cook a meal for them, or clean their house for them. So it's just so many different things. And it's just interesting, just like I said, it just proves that we're all different people. We all have different things that we want in life. And we may place something, at say a 2 or 3, and someone may place that thing at a 7 or 8 on their list of things that are goals in their lives. So what is it for you? So again, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and you can hear this episode and all episodes on the Podbean app, on YouTube, and on Listen Notes. And again, I want to thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for more episodes, and until next time, stay well and be blessed. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. You can hear this and all episodes on the Podbean app, YouTube, and Listen Notes. Until next time, stay well and be blessed.